The New York Knicks have not been in this position in 26 years. So as a Knicks fan, you should be excited. You should be happy. And this has a lot to do with the guy that James Dolan put in charge when everybody was booing. Everybody hated this move. I didn't know what to expect. But Leon Rose, when he took over this team, this is an agent. He's never been in a position like this before. He's never been put under pressure like this before. He stamped his name to this team. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he stamped his name to this team when he brought in Jalen Brunson for $58 million. He signed Jalen Brunson and brought him in on a 3-year deal. And nobody, and I'm sorry, Knicks fans, besides the Villanova fans that are Knicks fans throughout the country, nobody really knew who Jalen Brunson was and how good Jalen Brunson could be. But as soon as he stepped in Madison Square Garden and he wore his colors proudly, and his father played on that New York Knicks team in '99 when they lost in the finals, and he was 3 years old, 3, when he was running around that locker room, nobody would ever have thought that 26 years later, this guy would be the captain of the team. This guy would be the best player on this team. This guy would be the leader of this team. It's an amazing story. And why not see this player go against the same team they beat to go to the finals against the Spurs in the Pacers? It's a great story. Now, the Knicks have to get it done. They couldn't get it done last year against the Pacers. But they got it done against a Celtic team that everybody was riding high. Everybody, including yours truly, thought that the Celtics were the best team going into the playoffs. I don't think you can argue that. Nobody can argue that. You had guys like Tatum and Jaylen Brown and White and all the weapons that they had in Porzingis, even though he wasn't 100% healthy. And they had a winning pedigree. This is a team that went all the way to the finals and didn't even lose. That's how good they were last year. And this was the same roster. The same roster. And nobody would have thought winning both games, back-to-back games in Boston, at the Boston Garden, and coming back from a 20-point deficit, that nobody would have thought that even up 2 that they were going to win this series. I did have them winning in 7, the Knicks, but I know a lot of people will say, oh, you were just guessing. But there's something about this team that this New York Knicks team has not had since the 99 team that was there. Sprewell was a lightning rod, a personality. We all know what he did when he played for another team. I'm not going to mention smacking the crap out of his coach. And everybody knows who I'm talking about. So I'm not going to mention. I'll mention it was the Golden State Warriors, if you don't remember that. It was. But Latrell Sprewell gave them a rod that the Knicks didn't have in the 94 season. A guy that could go up and down the court, can do things that we have never seen a shooting guard / point guard do with the New York Knicks, really, since, I would say, Walt Clyde Frazier. And he gave them a distinct personality. Larry Johnson, the grandmama personality that he was over there in Charlotte, he gave the Knicks leadership. He gave the Knicks a pedigree that they didn't have, and that was a guy that can hit big shots in big games when need be. And they had that. Allen Houston, when they made that move, bringing him from Detroit. Remember that? They needed a guy that can shoot and shoot threes and make those shots. They brought in Allen Houston to do just that. Old Patrick Ewing. But they had guys that gave them a distinct size and personality like the Marcus Camby's that we've seen over the years. We need that type of team, and we haven't had it in 26 years. Even the Carmelo Anthony Knicks with Stoudemire and those guys, they didn't have that personality, that mean, tiny type of team that could defend the perimeter and had those wing defenders that the Knicks had in the 94 season when they had the bigs of Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason and those type of players that would beat you to the ground if you would try to drive to the hole. They don't have that. They didn't have that for 26 years. And thank you to Leon Rose for all the Knicks fans that were attacking the OG Anunoby trade when they traded RJ Barrett and quickly to the Toronto Raptors and said, who the hell is OG Anunoby? This guy is one of the best wing defenders in the NBA. He has really improved in his shooting ability at the three-point line. His free throw shooting, his game, completely unique. And there's not many players that have it in the NBA. Guys like Kawhi Leonard, like we have spoken about, and you know I'm talking about, Fish. We and Fish talk about it all the time. This guy has that distinct ability to be another Kawhi Leonard. And he's still he's right there almost in the prime of his career. Mikal Bridges, who the Knicks traded for in the offseason for 5 first-round picks, and Josh Silverberg and every stupid Knicks fan attacking this move, saying this is the worst move. This is going to set the Knicks back. Where are the Knicks fans saying that now? You have 2 distinct wing defenders, top 5 wing defenders now on one roster. And then you make a move for Karl-Anthony Towns, the flopping genius, and that's what I call him now, because he likes to flop and he likes to cry to the referees. But when Karl-Anthony Towns plays his game, he is unstoppable. When he can get to the hole and he can shoot the three and not shoot those 40-foot three-point shots that make you sick to your stomach when he forces them up and he plays his game, he's unstoppable. And there's nobody on the Pacers that can stop him. And now, a healthy Mitchell Robinson. And when you have a beast of a man like that can rebound offensively and defensively and give you a distinct defensive presence in the paint, this team is as good as any Knicks team we've seen since the 73 champion Knicks team with Phil Jackson and Walt Clyde Frazier and all those players, DeBusschere. This is a completely different Knicks team. But congratulations to Tom Thibodeau for a guy that a lot of Knicks fans, including yours truly, wanted him gone. A guy that I just feel like it's passed by for a coach like that. He's an old-timing coach that does some stupid things, throws players out there over and over and over again and wears them down. But Josh Hart has been such an aggressive and great personality that is playing 48 minutes almost every single game and is one of the clear leaders of this team. And it's fun to watch. I'm going to tell you this right now. If the Knicks can get out of this series against the Pacers, it doesn't matter if it's OKC and it doesn't matter if it's Timberwolves. They are the favorites of winning the NBA championship. They have beaten the best team in the playoffs in the Celtics. They deserve all the credit in the world. And I'm not saying this because I'm a Knicks fan. I'm saying this because I watch this team religiously. This is a team that this is a different type of team now. I think they're completely different. I think they believe in themselves. I think no matter how bad they're down, they believe they can come back. When you see teams come back from deficits like we've seen, and by the way, I loved what they did to the Celtics in Game 6 because they let the Celtics know early, there's not a chance in hell you're winning this game. It don't matter what you do in this game and what Jaylen Brown does in this game. We're going to put you through the ringer. And boy, oh boy, did they do that. And by the third quarter, the game was over, guys. It was an over game. They were up 35 points with, 5.5 minutes left of the third quarter. The Knicks was playing their backup players with 7.5 minutes in the fourth quarter. The game was completely over. And that says a lot. This is not a bad Celtic team, even losing Jason Tatum. And the Knicks were up 3-1 against the Celtics with Jason Tatum. So I don't want to hear it from the Celtic fans. I don't want to hear it from all the stupid press guys out there saying, well, if the Knicks had to play Jason Tatum in Game 6, it might have been a different game. It was never going to be a different game. This is a completely different New York Knicks team. They have the heart of a champion, and they're hungry. And this is what we wanted to see. This is what we've been craving to see for 26 years. I am so excited. And not only do I think they're going to pulverize the Pacers, they're going to teach them a lesson. I think they're going to teach them a lesson for what happened last year. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a sweep. Okay? I wouldn't even be surprised if this is a sweep. It won't be, but I think this goes 6 games. I think the Knicks are the better team. And by the way, Miles McBride, you played sensational. sensational in the Celtics series. You finally showed up to a series. And that, to me, if the Knicks have a six-man that could do that off the bench throughout the next series, you know the Pacers don't have a chance. So that's all I got to say about that. And the Knicks fans are crazy. Absolutely crazy.